Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. This is an article that came out, several months ago, but I wanted to share it with you because I didn't share it then, and I thought I might as well share it. So this is on military.com. It came out at the end of the year, and this is regarding the VR&E program from VA. VR&E can put additional money in your pocket while you're going through the program. VR&E stands for Veterans Readiness and Employment. So if you're receiving, for example, a couple $1,000s a month of VA disability compensation and you get allowed into the VR&E program, you're found eligible and you accept and you go into the program, you could receive up to about $3,200 per month, depending on certain circumstances. So I'm going to share that with you here. There's an article. I want to jump through this and just share it with you. So with that, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Now, before I jump into the article, I want to throw out that oftentimes, if you go through VR&E, Veterans Readiness and Employment, it is going to provide some sort of education to land you a job that you can do with your disability or disabilities. So the idea is I can't really hold down a job with my current skill set because of my disability or disabilities from service. Therefore, I need to be retrained, re-educated, whatever, into a different realm so that way I can have a successful career. Now, this could mean going through and getting a bachelor's, could be going through getting a master's in something that you're totally not into currently that's going to help you get into a different road there, different road into employment. Or it could be some shorter term program to allow you to get that job as well. Most of us, for whatever reason, focus on it's going to be bachelor's, master's type stuff. There are programs out there like, for example, the Automotive Dealership Institute, which I love to use it as an example because it's a 1-month program in which they train you to be a finance manager and then help you get job placed throughout the nation to become a finance manager. Yeah, it's not just automotive, right? So cars, trucks, sure. Motorcycle dealerships, off-road vehicles, maybe ATVs, that type of stuff, tractors, RVs, anybody who does that type of financing, 3-year, 5-year, 10-year type financing. Or if you're super suave, maybe it's the Rolls-Royce dealership, right? The Bentley dealership. They have finance managers there as well. So great outfit, great program. If that's something you're interested in, you would have that conversation with the counselor at VR&E and let them know that you could see yourself doing something like that instead of maybe you were a construction worker before and your back's killing you. You need something where you can sit, get up, walk around a little bit, sit, that type of stuff. So Automotive Dealership Institute, fantastic organization. Check them out. So let's jump into this overview here with military.com. Veterans Readiness and Employment overview states here, if you are a veteran who has a Department of Veterans Affairs disability rating and an employment handicap, you may be entitled to Veterans Readiness and Employment, previously known as Vocational Rehabilitation and Employment, services under the Chapter 31 of the GI Bill VR&E. These services include, but are not limited to, counseling, training, education, and job placement assistance. You may be eligible for these services through VR&E, such as comprehensive rehabilitation evaluation to determine abilities, skills, interests, and needs. So again, they're looking at what you're interested in, what your skills are, what your needs are, and then they help to figure out the job that's the right match for you, and then what's the missing piece. Is it education? Do you need to go through that 1-month program at Automobile Dealership Institute? Or do you need to go get a bachelor's? Do you need to go get a master's? Right? So they're figuring out what the missing piece is, and then they help with that. Vocational counseling, rehabilitation planning, employment services such as job seeking skills, resume development, and other work readiness assistance finding and keeping a job, on-the-job training, financial assistance, supportive rehabilitation services, including case management, independent living services, and more. VR&E eligibility and entitlement for VR&E are two different things. This is the weird thing about VR&E, Veterans Readiness Employment. First, you have to be able to be eligible to even apply. To be eligible, you need to have at least a 10% rating with the VA, and you must have some sort of issue with that condition or a service-connected condition with your employment. It's kind of making it difficult for you to maintain or keep your job, or you're getting fired, or you lost your job, or what have you. Let's see what they say. You may have to meet eligibility criteria, yet not. You may meet eligibility criteria, yet not be entitled to services. The first step in VR&E process is to be evaluated to determine if you qualify. To receive an evaluation for VR&E services, you must have an other than dishonorable discharge and a service-connected disability rating of at least 10% or a memorandum rating of at least 20%. So that's the first step, right? Is applying. Then you meet with a counselor. Then the counselor decides. They are the true gatekeeper at that point on whether or not they find you eligible to be enrolled into the program. I personally applied 3 times and was granted finally, the last one, right? Applied, denied, applied, denied, applied, granted. And my situation was the same. Just the person heard my story differently, I guess. Next here is period of eligibility. Like many VA benefits, VR&E has a limited period of eligibility. The basic period of eligibility for VR&E is 12 years from the date of separation from active military service or from the date the veteran was first notified by VA of a service-connected disability rating, whichever comes later. The basic period of eligibility can be extended if the VA determines that a veteran has a serious employment handicap. Now, it's important to throw in there, they didn't mention it in this article, but if you were discharged from active duty on or after January 1st, 2013, the 12-year basic period of eligibility does not apply to you. There's no time limit on eligibility. So moving on, VR&E program process overview. If you're eligible for an evaluation under the VR&E program, you must complete an application and meet with the Veterans Readiness Counselor. If the VRC determines that an employment handicap exists as a result of service-connected disability, you will be entitled to services. The important piece here is you need to go into it with the mindset of this is an employment program, and I'm having issues with employment due to my service-connected conditions or condition. Let them determine the appropriate educational route for you when you determine the right type of job. And again, if it's something like being a finance manager, well, it might be a month-long program. Bam, you're done. You're out there earning $150,000 a year. If they deem that you need to get a master's degree so you can do a management role in your current job and less physical, well, then that's what it's going to take. But they have to kind of determine that. It says here, you and your VRC, the counselor, will work together to determine your transferable skills, aptitudes, and interests, identify viable employment and independent living services options, explore labor market and wage information, identify physical demands and other job characteristics, narrow vocational options to identify suitable employment goals, select a VR&E program track leading to an employment or independent living goal, investigate training requirements, identify resources needed to achieve rehabilitation, develop an individualized rehabilitation plan to achieve identified employment and independent living goals. It goes on a little bit more, but I want to throw out there that currently the stipend or subsistence allowance that you receive if you go to a full-time higher level of learning type of institution, full-time with 2 dependents, a spouse and a child, we'll say, they'll pay you out about a little over $1,200 per month for that subsistence allowance. Now, here's the kicker. If you have any amount of post 9/11 GI Bill remaining, I'm talking 1 day, they will mirror your housing allowance for post 9/11 up to about $3,200, a little over $3,200 per month, up to that amount, depending on the location, right? Somewhere in California, Bay Area, California is going to pay on a higher amount than somewhere in North Dakota. So it's geographic based. But with that, I wanted to go ahead and end it there. Just wanted to make sure that you're aware of the program and utilize it to suit you best. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.